Déjà, j'ai commencé par écrire des scénarios quand j'avais déjà 8 ans. Donc quand j'ai commencé l'écriture, c'était des scénarios à 8 ans, j'écrivais plein d'histoires.
Ça parlait de quoi vos histoires? Je veux tout savoir, moi.
Ça date, hein, mais c'était le majeur qui était l'aîné et le pouce qui était, je sais plus quoi, qui donnait des coups de pouce, et l'auriculaire qui, lui, était marié, mais en fait, il était un mauvais mari. J'avais fait tout un truc comme ça avec les doigts. Et ce que ça voulait dire, leur sens et autres. Enfin, mais comme j'étais petit, je pense que ça avait un peu surpris la maîtresse. Et donc, à ce moment-là, j'avais eu un prix, mais ça date.
Leonardo's speech yesterday was very much about the art of acting. And I'm wondering for you, as an actor, with your whole experience, what makes a good actor?
I think one thing is to be just not to... you can create something, an effect, or be effective with doing very little as opposed to... You know, so if a director comes and says, you should do all this, I'd say, well, I don't know if I should do all that. I don't know if it will have much meaning, you know. You maybe don't have to do anything, and that'll have more meaning and more impact than doing this whole big thing. That's a very obvious example.
Dans Vie privée de Rebecca Zlotowski, ce qui est frappant, c'est quand même que vous parlez français. Et vous le savez, vous le savez mieux que moi. Le bilinguisme, l'une de ses spécificités, c'est qu'on n'est pas la même personne en français ou en anglais. Et la question que je me pose, c'est qui est Jodie Foster quand elle parle français? Qu'est-ce qui vous surprend chez elle?
J'ai peur, je suis vulnérable.
C'est vrai.
Parce que c'est difficile de maîtriser la langue quand on joue en même temps. Alors, et puis aussi, je voulais que ça soit un grand défi pour moi, parce que j'ai vraiment pratiqué. Hein. Avec, et j'ai beaucoup appris.
It really struck me, the physicality and the sensitivity of your filmmaking. And I'm wondering, is there something political here in new stories to tell, in new ways of filming?
I think having a female body is an overtly political act if you can get out of bed in the morning and not hate yourself. It is... It's hard, and it's a secret. Like I said, we're just not supposed to say that because it sounds so woe is me. It sounds like it's also a really beautiful experience to have this sort of gushing openness. It's where life comes from. It's also where a lot dies. It's like, you know, can you hold life and death in the same sentence is one of the coolest lines in the book. That's actually not in the movie, but I think the movie says it without saying it. And I think that, yeah, if I'm allowed to continue making movies, like, I think in making this first one, I just want to earn the right to make one more, and then after that, one more. And I think if I'm allowed to, I would like to do the most fun thing in the entire world, which is like tell secrets. Just tell everyone everything that we're not supposed to tell people. And I don't know, kind of like, and I don't mean this in a crude way, I mean this in a really beautiful way, but just sort of disrobe in public. Like, we should be allowed to.
What's very interesting about your career, Benicio, is that you appear in very indie movies, like those of Wes Anderson or Arnaud Desplechin, for instance, but also in blockbusters, Marvel movies. Between you and me, is it the same job?
The acting, it is the same job. The movies are not the same.
What do you prefer?
Well, I prefer the independent route. Not the independent, but I prefer working, you know, whether it's James Gunn, who directed the Guardians of the Galaxy, or as someone like Wes Anderson. I prefer films that are helmed by directors that I look up to, respect, find interesting, you know. So so it doesn't matter if it's studio or independent. It's just, I think that story, director, cast.
I had the pleasure, the great honor of spending some time with Johnny Hallyday, who's not, you know, just a movie star or a rock star. He's like something, he's like a figure from fiction. I don't know if he existed really, and he came to me and he said, would you write me a song? I said, be a great honor. He said, would you write me a song? I have a blues album that's coming. And I said, yes. I said, I have a title right now. He said, what is that? I said, I Am the Blues. That's my moment with Johnny Hallyday, and I love his family, and And it's just something about his way, you know.
Le baiser de cinéma. Comment on filme un baiser de cinéma?
J'ai toujours dit, je préfère un beau baiser qu'une scène d'amour, ça m'intéresse pas. Et non, j'adore filmer les baisers, les vrais baisers, les bouches, enfin c'est magnifique, les langues. Non, pour moi c'est très important.
Comment on fait?
On encourage, mais je suis honnête dès le début. Je dis voilà, moi les baisers, il faut que ce soit des vrais baisers, des beaux baisers, pas des trucs. Ça a été discuté, voilà, tout le monde, avec le consentement de tout le monde. Et après, j'essaie de bien placer la caméra pour pas justement qu'on le refasse 50 fois. Mais vraiment, moi, je préfère 100 fois un beau baiser, filmer un beau baiser qu'une scène d'amour simulée. Ça m'intéresse pas.